Well, I just got done teaching a webinar for Indiana teachers. So it's something that goes into the learning hub for Indiana teachers. Ooh, you can tell. Just got done presenting lots of words. So here's what happens in Indiana. Teachers actually have access to this learning hub where they get access to webinars and resources and all of those things. And I'm super excited to be providing special education webinars inside of their hub so teachers can learn new IEP strategies. There we go. So I thought I'd share with you a little bit about what I talked about with the teachers today during the webinar. And that was about parent partnerships. Idea law. Now, remember, I'm not a lawyer. I just tell you where to look. I've been doing this for 25 years, helping parents and teachers write better IEPs. The law says that parents need to be equal IEP team members. So when we think about this, it seems to be a struggle all the time, right? Of like, how do we feel equal? But if we flip our conversation and we start talking about partnerships and what does it take to be a partner when we're making decisions, a partner in the paperwork, a partner in deciding IEP goals, a partnership is even more than being equal. That's what I feel like. A partnership builds a trust and a collaboration. And I know that it can feel hard. I completely understand that it's hard to build trust on an IEP team. It's hard to feel like you're partners. It's hard to feel like there can be open communication. That takes vulnerability. It takes, forgiveness. It takes honesty. A lot of things that we don't see in special education on a regular basis. That's one of the things that I love about our Master IEP Coach community. I put the link here. So it's masteriepcoach.com. This is the one place where I know that parents, teachers, admins, and therapists are always partnering to help each other. Now, mind you, these are parents, teachers, admins, and therapists from across the country that are working together to truly build IEP teams that work together. And so when you learn the skills, even if it's away from your current IEP team, when you learn these skills and you bring them to the IEP team, and these are not just theory, these are not just things that like, oh, this is how it should be, this is best practices. It's like, no, this is stuff that works, even in the tough situation. This is stuff that makes sense for helping a team truly develop an individualized education plan that meets a child's unique needs, that's appropriate, that prepares a child for further education, employment, and independent living. And basically what I just repeated to you there is the purpose and findings of ideal law. It's what every IEP needs to provide. Now, to do this, we talk about having parents being an equal IEP team member, but if we look at this as a partnership, we know you've been in a partnership before, right? Sometimes a partnership means that you're doing an equal amount of work. And sometimes a partnership means that somebody has to do something a little bit different or a little bit more. And then we rely on them, on the other person to help us through the tough times. That's a partnership. So when we look at that, and it's possible, it's really not something that is like pie in the sky thought. It's absolutely possible when we do things like, so here's one of the things that I shared with all of the Indiana teachers. I shared about the parent input section on the IEP. There's a parent input section that's often underutilized. In fact, if you look up your IEP, and if you're a teacher, you go look at your students' IEPs. Parents, open up your child's IEP and you look for the section that says something like parent educational concerns, or it will say parent input or parent vision statement. If you look at that section and it is not truly reflective of what the parent is worried about, if it's not truly reflective of the long-term outcomes that are desired through this IEP process and beyond, then we've got some work to do. In fact, I can tell you inside of the Master IEP Coach mentorship, many times our brand new Master IEP coaches, and let me just clarify, when you become a Master IEP coach, it's something that you can use just for yourself, or you can use it to help others. So a lot of people come in just to help themselves first. They're like, I'm going to be my own Master IEP coach so I can do my best job at the IEP table. And they go and they look at this parent input section and they see that it's empty. Like, not good at all. So then I shared with the Indiana teachers kind of like the absolute best type of parent input statement and what this sounds like coming from parents. And then I shared what it in reality, what it looks like in the IEP when we're doing things better than what they're being done. So there's a wide range of ways to use this parent input statement, but it's so important. And making sure that we're using this piece of the IEP is key to building a partnership between teachers and parents. One of the frustrating things is that special education was actually built because parents and teachers came together and said, hey, let's create this educational opportunity for students who have disabilities, and let's make this happen. And that happened, in 1975. And somehow in the process between then and now, we've now split, and it's like parents versus teachers. But if we're really going to make changes in special education, we have to start bringing parents and teachers together and start having a common language and, really working together on these desirable outcomes. And when we partner up and when we start doing things, and a lot of people would say, well, then we need to go change the law. And I'm not saying that the law doesn't need some improvements. I'm sure it does. I'm not a lawyer in that way, but I can tell you that I've used the foundation of the law to build really awesome IEPs just the way that the law is. And I'm not saying that doesn't need to be better. What I'm saying is we don't have to wait for the law to change to build better IEPs. The opportunity is there, but when we leave sections of the IEP blank, like the parent input statement, that shows that there's not a true partnership or even, equal members of the IEP team, because it's literally left empty, or it's left a parent has no concerns at this time, or a parent is worried that child left lunchbox on bus. Like, those are not valid concerns when we're really looking at how are we going to prepare a child for further education, employment, independent living. I want to encourage you, if you're like, yes, I want a partnership on my IEP team, I want to make this happen, I want to be the catalyst to help make change in special education, I'm going to highly encourage that you go over to masteriepcoach.com. And there's some free resources on there. There's a Special Education Inner Circle podcast. There's a Master IEP Coach blog. That's expert articles that are written by Master IEP coaches and myself. It's a whole collaboration. On the blog, you've got some freebies, some IEP checklists and things that you can download, but there's also IEP trainings. And if you click on the IEP trainings, then you'll be able to see what's happening with Master IEP Coach mentorship, how you can join us live in person, how you can join us online, and truly be that change maker on the IEP team. So I hope to see you inside of the Master IEP Coach mentorship. And just remember, we don't have to be on separate sides of the table. We can truly build collaboration and partnership, but it does take intentionality. It takes somebody being the catalyst, and that catalyst could be you.